So we're live now?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Chair.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Committee of Adjustment for the City of Richmond Hill. I would ask that we would start this evening's meeting with the reading of the preamble, please.
Today's Committee of Adjustment meeting is hereby held as an electronic meeting in light of the current COVID-19 emergency. The COVID-19 emergency is the emergency declared by the Province of Ontario pursuant to Order in Council 518-2020, Ontario Regulation 5020, on March 17th, 2020, and by the City of Richmond Hill on March 20th, 2020, under the provisions of Section 701 and Section 41 of the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act. The Committee of Adjustment is authorized to hold this meeting electronically as a tribunal under the Statutory Powers and Procedures Act, in accordance with the Hearings and Tribunal Proceedings Temporary Measures Act. Due to efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19 and to protect all individuals, city facilities are not presently open to the public to attend Committee of Adjustment meetings. The Committee of Adjustment for the City of Richmond Hill has been appointed by Council to consider applications for minor variance and consent in accordance with the Planning Act. The committee's decision may be appealed to the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal. All appeals and associated fees must be filed directly with the Secretary-Treasurer in accordance with the Planning Act. To be notified of a Local Planning Appeal Tribunal hearing, you must request a copy of the committee's decision in writing. Written comments. The public may submit written correspondence regarding agenda matters by email to committeeofadjustment@richmondhill.ca. All written correspondence received by 4:30 p.m. today has been provided to the members electronically. Electronic delegations. Delegates are reminded to please mute your microphone or phone and turn off video until it is your turn to speak. Please make sure your microphone is not muted when you begin speaking. If members do not have questions, or after all questions have been asked, your delegation is over. Please sign off of Zoom or hang up the phone once the committee has made a decision on your application. You can watch the rest of the meeting on our live stream, and the clerk may remove any delegate who does not sign off of Zoom.
Thank you. Our Secretary Treasurer is Mrs. Jamie Hope Herman. Our Assistant Secretary Treasurer is Ms. Linda Asikas, and assisting us this evening from Planning is Ms. Sarah Motor. Do we have any conflicts of interest this evening, gentlemen? I see none. And do we have any requests for adjournment or withdrawals?
That's you, Mr. Chair. We have none.
In that case, I will call the first application B001/21 at 16 McLeod Estate Court. Do we have any additional correspondence on this application?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we received a letter of objection from 19 Birchbank on March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 27 Birchbank, received March 3rd, 2021. And we received a letter of objection from 25 Birchbank on March 4th, 2021.
Thank you.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, thank you.
We can't see you though.
I know I'm having difficulty here and I cannot pick it up. Anyway,
Okay, carry on, Mr. Floyd.
I hope I can be descriptive. The application is the result of a land, sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay, the application is the result of a land swap between the owner here, Mr. Gordon Gray, and the town of Richmond Hill, which was done a couple of years ago. Lands that were deeded to the town and the deal has closed are parts 8 and part 5 on the registered plan 65R 37613. I hope Mrs. Hope has given you a copy. Anyway, the the parcel of land is going to be divided by the severance, hopefully. Part 8 will be merged in title with the property to the south, which is existing lot number 15, which is number 17 McLeod Estate Court. The remainder of the land, being part 5, will be merged in title with the lands to the northwest, being part 1, which is 16 McLeod Estate Court. Neither of these two parcels of land have anything to do with the Oak Ridges Trail. The Oak Ridges Trail, I do believe, and I stand to be corrected, is going down part 4, part 6, and part 7, which my owner does not have anything to do with any longer. It's owned by the town. So the letters of objection that those people have about having a trail there should go to the town, not to us. So that's the gist of our application. Part 8 going to lot 15 and part 5 going to part 1 on the big parcel in the back.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anyone in the audience wish to address this application at 16 McLeod Estate Court?
Mr. Chair, we have none.
Do we have any additional comments from planning?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no further comments.
Gentlemen, comments, questions, concerns, a motion? Mr. Gossi. You need your microphone on, please, Mr. Gossi.
Sorry about
There
that,
you
Mr.
go.
Chair. Through you, Mr. Chair, I'd like to raise a motion that item A, consent application B001/21 at 16 McLeod Estate Court is approved subject to terms and conditions in the staff report.
Moved by member Gossi, seconded by member Master. All in favor? I see 5 hands. It's approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Our next application is application A005/21 at 27 Mayburn Crescent. Do we have any additional correspondence on this application?
Through you, Mr. Chair. We received a letter of objection from 23 Mayburn Crescent on March 1st, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 29 Mayburn Crescent, received March 1st, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 36 Sanderson Crescent, received March 1st, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 3 Sanderson Crescent, received March 1st, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 7 Sanderson Crescent, received March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 45 Mayburn Crescent, received March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 25 Mayburn Crescent, received March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 71 Drummond Crescent, received March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 38 Drummond Crescent, received March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 47 Sanderson Crescent, received March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 43 Mayburn Crescent, received March 3rd, 2021. We received a letter of objection from 44 Penwick Crescent, received March 4th, 2021. We received letters of objection from 34 Mayburn Crescent, received March 4th, 2021. And we received letters of support from area residents, received March 4th, 2021.
Thank you.
Hello,
Yes, go ahead.
I'm the applicant. Can I talk?
Sorry, are you the applicant?
Yes, I'm the applicant.
Okay, yeah, by all means, yes, please let us know what's going on. Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, can I just pop in here for a moment before our agent speaks on behalf of the application?
Sorry.
I said, can I just pop in here before the agent speaks on behalf of the application?
Of course, certainly.
Okay. We just wanted to make a note to the committee and to the residents. Upon further review of 27 Mayburn, the bump out in the back was not included in the actual calculation of the lot coverage. The owner of the property has provided us written confirmation that they will go to the building permit process and they will stay within the 31.7% that has been requested in the minor variance process presented to us tonight. We just wanted to bring that forward so that everybody was aware of the situation.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Parisa Amiri. I'm the applicant and the architect of this application. I'm here with the client at my office, and we are going over the application. And it hasn't been mentioned that we have received in favor letters from 31, 36, 44, 26, and 30 Mayburn, 34, 36 Drummond, and 1 and 56 Sanderson as well. And what do you prefer? Do you prefer me to start with the presentation, or you want me to go over the variances? How do you want me to start
Go ahead and make your presentation. That's fine.
Jamie, would you please put up the site plan? Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Prisa, just give us a moment. We'll bring it up for you.
Until the site plan is up, I just want to use the time, don't waste it. And I want to mention that we have a report from the planning department that they are in favor with the application. This is a survey.
Okay.
And we are requesting for 3 variances tonight. Jamie, would you please go forward and put the site plan? This is the survey. This is the existing situation of the house, which
Sorry, this
one
is
story.
this thing?
That one was survey. This is okay. This drawing. This one is the proposed site plan that we are requesting, that we are proposing for this new house, and we are dealing with 3 variances in this proposal. One of them is lot coverage. Instead of 30%, we are asking for 31.7%. And the other one is side setback, that the side setback that we are requesting for 5 feet. And the other one is rear setback, which is only at one corner, which is the almost east corner of the property that we are requesting for the variance. The lot is in angle, the back, the rear lot line is in angle, and that's why it created this variance. And we were in communication with the planning department. They were in favor with the application, and I explained them that that it's only at that very corner that we are short for the rear setback, and at the other side we are over the minimum required. And the reason that we are dealing with the side setback, it's because of the situation of the lot and the negative slope of the existing lot from the front toward the back. We have 80 centimeter difference from the grade from toward the back. So the basement comes up and it shows itself like 3-story. That's why it doesn't, the 50% of the basement doesn't stay in the grade. That's why zoning department read it as the other story, and it shows another story. It shows 3 stories. So it created that side setback. Instead of like 6 feet, they are reading 8 feet. If we go please to the floor plans, we are proposing basement floor, main floor, and second floor. So this is only 3 levels, like basement, main floor, and second floor. Basement is for garage and basement activity like rec room, and the main floor is living, sitting, dining, and kitchen, and second floor are bedrooms. And please go on main elevation. Front elevation. Page A6. Yes. This is the main elevation of the house. We don't have any height variance. We are within the height limit of the bylaw. And again, at the very corner, top bottom of the page, at the left side, I have mentioned the difference between the basement and the main floor toward the established grade. At that very corner, we are okay because the basement is lower than the main floor. But when we go to the back of the house, back of the property, please go to A7. No, A8, sorry. The back elevation. Yes. When we are here, there are 2 numbers that shows the grade dramatically drops. That's why I created the basement comes out of the grade. Although we went down for the foundation, but we couldn't go more than like 11 feet for the ceiling. So we decided to keep it there, although it's basement, but at the back of the property, it shows very close to the grade. And that's why zoning read it 3-story. But we don't have any height variance. And in terms of the side setbacks, we are asking for 5 feet instead of 6 feet because we are hoping to be considered a 2-story plus basement, not 3 stories. If you want, I summarize the issue of the neighbors that they have, and I can go over it with you.
Before you do that, can I just get some clarification on what it is that you've discussed so far? The very first drawing that I saw looked like an existing survey. Can we go back to that? Because one of the things that I found very suspicious on my visit today was, or yesterday, was that there seemed to be, the houses seem to be close together. And if the existing bylaw is asking for 8 feet, I don't see 16 feet between the houses. So on your survey, can you please verify just what the setbacks are to the existing house?
Yes, let me bring the survey up myself.
Now that drawing is certainly far too small for me to read, but
Yeah.
if you can just tell me what the side yards are right now, I'd appreciate that.
Sure. Toward the neighbor on 29, we have 1.29 meter from the existing building to the property line. And they have 1.52 meter from the property line to their building. And toward the 25th, we already have 1.9 meter from the building to the property line, and they have 1.88 meter from the building to the property line. So,
Thank you.
okay, sure.
And the other thing I'd like clarification on is Mrs. Hope Herman mentioned that the bump out that was at the rear of the building was going to be adjusted so that the coverage would stay within the requested variance of 1.7%.
Yes.
How
And
does that affect your rear yard setback?
that one doesn't include the rear yard because that one is bay window. Bay window doesn't usually count toward the lot coverage. That's why we didn't count it originally, but we got a phone in the afternoon from Jamie, and she said we need to calculate it toward the lot coverage, and we said okay, we will definitely comply.
Well, how will you do that? Will you shrink that? My question is, will you be?
We can shave it off because it's a bay window.
So what will be your rear yard setback? Will you still need that proposed variance?
Yes, because that variance is.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to clarify that you'll still need that variance.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize for interrupting. I will ask you to carry on with, you were going to discuss the neighbor's concerns.
Sure. And for another clarification toward your concern for the setback, technically we are, with the new design, we are pushing the building toward the middle of the lot. It was closer to 29. We are pushing it a little bit back toward the middle. And altogether, the existing setback is 3.19, and we are asking for 3.04. The neighbors are worried and they have concern regarding the trees. And I would just want to make sure and mention here that we have the arborist at the board, and he's dealing with the city urban forestry, and there are communication that I have forwarded to Jamie in the morning as well. The 29 of Mayvern, they are worried about the tree at the back of the property, which has almost 4 meter, which is almost 4 meter away from the property. And that one has been addressed by the arborist on the arborist report and the figure that has been submitted to the city. This is the concern of almost all of the neighbors about the trees. That I wanted to go over it. And they are concerned about the height and the shadow of this proposal. Although we don't have any height variance, we are not asking for any height variance. And as I mentioned before, it's because of the situation of the lot that is the application is going to be read as 3-story. Technically, it's 3-story, 2-story plus basement. I cannot say fortunate or unfortunate, the basement comes up, but it's the same as the other neighbors that they have basement, main floor, and second floor. We are proposing basement, main floor, and second floor. And they are saying it's going to be very big and out of character, but we don't see 1.7% above the bylaw would be very big and out of character for the neighbor, as the planning department mentioned in their report as well. So we definitely think this is something that is going to be fit for the new norm standard of the living and the new build of the development for that neighborhood. As the cross street 30 and 26 of Mayburn, they are very in favor with the proposal, and they are very in support, and they said they really want to see the new build go up. They are mentioning, neighbors were mentioning about some builders that we really don't know who they are. Like at 34 Mayburn that they submitted 2 letters, they mentioned if you are a member of MARA, M-A-R-A, that we really don't know who they are talking about. My client is a person who bought this lot just because his daughter living 1 street above in Drummond, and they want to build this house for themselves, for their family, and enjoy their life close to their daughter and the future granddaughter. So they design it for themselves, and they want really to enjoy the rest of their life in that neighborhood and enjoy the house that they want for themselves. One neighbor mentioned about the elevator. I don't think the elevator would be out of character. There are some luxury element. People, if they want to spend money, they would put it in their house, and is not something that can someone object to it. And most of the, yeah, the 25 Mayburn, on 25 Mayburn, the neighbor is worried that we want to go toward his building, and he mentioned only 32 centimeter will remain. I think it was misunderstood by the by him. We have 52 meter distance from our property line to the building, which altogether from our building to their building is gonna be 3.4 meter. We are not going toward their building, and it's like 3.4 meter difference between this building and that building. And again, for this rear setback, it's only one corner at the north side of the building that of the lot that has close distance to the building. The rest is okay. In the middle and the bottom, we don't have any issue. I'm ready if you have any question, answer any question that you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I will turn it over to our audience. Do we have anyone in the audience who wishes to address this application at 27 Mayburn Crescent? And I see that we have listed here about 6 speakers. So I would ask folks if they could not continually repeat the same comments. If they could bring up new points, it would make it go a lot quicker for us. Go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have Mr. Schweisberg tonight.
If I have anything to say in oral submissions, I'm content to go last.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have another request from another resident that would like to go last.
If that's Pat, I'll defer to her. She can go last. I'll go second to last if I have anything to say.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have Ms. Nurgitz.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Schweikberg could turn off his speaker. That would be nice, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My concern is just because a variance requested is minor doesn't mean that approval should be given. You know, without due consideration. Of course, I'm sure there will be due consideration. There has to be a good reason for the request. And I want to build a big house and it doesn't fit on the lot isn't a good enough reason. It's not the same situation where you have an existing homeowner who is putting an addition on an existing house and needs slight variance. These people are planning to tear down the house. And so there's no reason that they can't design the house to fit within the bylaws requirement for 30% lot coverage. So my question is, why is it not possible to comply with the provisions of the bylaw? And you know that Mr. Chair, you noted that the side yard seems to be smaller than required to start off with. And so making it even smaller at this point would make the neighborhood feel more crowded. And for me, that affects the character of the neighborhood. Our neighborhood is one of gracious open space. There's side yard space between homes. There's space between homes and their neighbors' homes behind them. The homes are set back from the street. So you don't feel boxed in. If I wanted to live in an area with back walls of homes that are so close together, you can see into your neighbor's kitchen, and these very tall homes jammed together, so you feel like you're driving down a walled canyon as you approach home, then I would go live on the other side of Bathurst, or I'd go live downtown. So one of the things that attracts me to the character of this neighborhood is the spaciousness of it. And the applicant made a comment that this would be consistent with a new build standard in the neighborhood. Well, maybe existing neighbors don't want to have a new build standard. The fact of the matter is that this house is taller than the houses around it, even though it fits within the 35 feet. Maybe we like the neighborhood with the gracious open space character that it has. And the last point that I want to make is that it seems to me that the applicant, in good faith, is kind of going at things backwards. People buy a property these days on the assumption that they can get a minor variance, and they bring a house design to the property which doesn't really fit. So rather than buying a property that fits your house design, they try to impose the design on the property. and make the legislation fit their design. And to me, that, I mean, in this case, these people are building for themselves. But in our neighborhood, there have been a lot of speculators doing infill building. And to me, that just allows speculators to run roughshod over the intentions of the legislation. I would respectfully submit that a quite lovely home design can be developed by this architect, which would fit within the current requirements of the bylaw, and a minor variance isn't necessary. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have someone else that wishes to address this application at 27 Mayburn Crescent?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have Ms. Kim with us.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Youngshin Kim, and I currently live at 25 Mayburn Crescent. I've been living here with my family for almost 12 years, and we moved here because of how we had privacy on our sides and our back and front as well. And I was looking at the what they proposed. They proposed a 0.92 meter difference on the side. And I feel that like these houses are back split. The house between on the left and the right side of 27 is back split. So the roof is higher on the back side. And my windows in the kitchen are facing 27 Mayburn. I feel that if they move closer to my property, like to my property, I'm going to lose that privacy, as well as when they build above there, I'm going to lose sunlight if they come closer. I get that. I'm not opposed to them building, but when they come almost a meter closer to my house, I feel like I'm going to be closed in my own home. And yeah. And they also mentioned, hello?
Hello.
Sorry, I got disconnected. They mentioned that they spoke to somebody in my house, and I'm not sure who they spoke to because they didn't speak to myself or my husband. The agent mentioned that they spoke to somebody at 25 Mayburn.
Okay.
So I'm opposed to their side setback. That's it.
Thank you. Are you finished? Is that
Yes,
it?
I'm finished. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do we have another speaker that wishes to address this application?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have Mr. Zikovits with us.
Thank you.
The host would like to unmute.
Yeah, would like you to unmute, so unmute.
Okay, I think I unmuted myself.
Okay, yeah, we can hear
Can
you.
you hear me? Okay, thank you.
We can hear you.
Good evening, and I've spoken to you before, and I have this ongoing concern with a number of variances, and that concern relates to the what I call the official plan test. And under section 4.9.2.4 of our city's official plan, it says development shall be compatible with existing character of adjacent and surrounding areas with respect to the following: predominant building forms, types, and massing, etc. And I recently participated in a Zoom meeting led by the city with respect to our revisions to our official plan. And one of the very first slides they showed, it said that all private development must conform with the city's official plan. So when I saw that slide, I emailed Denny Bulio, and because I recalled a minor variance request on Penwood Crescent that had a staff report that said that minor variance request was reviewed against the relevant policies of the official plan. So I wanted to know if they were the same provisions that I thought it should be reviewed against. And then I received a email from a staff member who said, who gave me a list, but it didn't include massing the first time. And then the second time it did include massing, and it matched what I said here. And then they said that, and they assured me that massing was reviewed for this application. However, during the November 19, 2020 Zoom meeting for this application, staff said that that the massing was not reviewed. Clearly said it was not reviewed because there was no request for height variance, and they only review massing when there's a request for height variance. Okay, so for me, that's a bit of a red flag. I hope it is for you too. And now the current application for 27 Mayvern Crescent, staff have indicated via correspondence through Jamie, the term massing is not defined, nor are there defined criteria to evaluate massing. Furthermore, the term massing is not referenced in the staff report. Well, I can also add that none of the other section 4.9.2.4 requirements are mentioned in the staff report. So I don't see how this application can pass if those provisions of the official plan aren't being met. We have Councillor Carmine Pirelli came to you and said, staff must follow the official plan. We have an official plan team that says all private development must conform to the city's official plan. And the one thing about this official plan test that's different than the other tests is that it doesn't matter whether you're requesting 1% or 10% lot coverage variance. The test is exactly the same. The development must be compatible with the adjacent and surrounding areas with respect to 4.9.2.4. So these are my comments. It's an ongoing concern. I think you've heard something similar from me in the past, but it definitely applies to this application. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your comments. Do we have anyone else that wishes to address this application?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we have Miss Kong with us.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for your time. I actually live in the other adjacent property in number 29. I did register an opposition based on the tree that's on my property and the base of the tree, which will eventually affect the fencing as well. But aside from that, hearing some of the other oppositions to this claim, I echo those concerns as well, because like 25 Mayvern, if they move closer to the property line, on their side of my house, I have my 2 bathrooms. So them coming in closer, now I have privacy, and I will eventually have to make changes so that I can maintain privacy that I already have. So I'm going to have to go to additional costs on my end to ensure what I'm already enjoying now for the many years that I have been on the property. They did ask for a variance, and they keep claiming that it's a 2-story and a basement house. However, their design has asked for a taller than or higher ceiling in the basement and the subsequent other floors that will contribute to the overall height of the house. So, and it is not consistent with the neighborhood. All the adjacent properties on this side of the street on Mayvern Crescent are back split bungalows. So this will be the only house that is a 2-story plus basement house. So those are my concerns. I don't think they should, I believe that they should design a house and construct a house that meets within the provisions of the law. So that's basically, I guess, all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I believe we're probably at Mr. Sweisberg, are we?
I just want to indicate to the panel that I support the oppositions that have been made, and I look forward, regardless of the decision being made by the panel, to the written decision focusing on the oral submissions that were made at the hearing and containing a brief explanation of the effect, if any, that the oral submissions and the written submissions that were set out by the Secretary Treasurer had on the panel's decision. Thank you.
The sound was quite distorted there, so I'm hoping that Mrs. Hope Herman got what she needed out of that.
To you, Mr. Chair, I got everything that we need.
Thank you very much. Okay, and I think we have one more speaker this evening. I'm sorry, are you finished, Mr. Sweisberg? Yes, okay. I believe we have one more speaker. Yes, go ahead. Your microphone is off. There you go.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
As a resident of a planned community and the chair of the Residents Association, there is one particular concern that I would like to summarize. We know that the Planning Act, that we must follow the Planning Act and adhere to the 4 tests. And in the Planning Act, one of those 4 tests is the request must comply with the general purpose and intent of the official plan. The official plan of Richmond Hill states, development shall be compatible with the existing character of the adjacent and surrounding area with respect to predominant building forms and types, massing, and the general pattern of yard setbacks. Now, if I concentrate on massing in this particular variance request, massing can be defined as the volume and shape of a building. Massing, the size or scale of the new construction and rehabilitations should be similar to the existing massing. That is what the official plan says. In fact, when asked of the definition for massing, I got a response from Jamie, was it today or yesterday? The term massing is not defined, nor are there defined criteria to evaluate massing. Furthermore, the term massing is not referenced in the staff report. The fact that massing is not referred to in the staff report is a deficiency of that report. Massing, according to the official plan, is a criteria to determine the compatibility of the proposed build to the existing character of the area. May I have my first photo, please? Jamie?
Yes, Ms. Pollock, just give us one moment, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a photo of 91 Maverick Crescent with the 2 houses beside it. I want to point out that in 2017, there were requests for minor variance on this proposal, and those variance requests were denied. So this house was built according to the zoning bylaw 3-74, which allows 30% lot coverage and 35 feet in height. Does this fit into the neighborhood? Is this building compatible with the existing character of the surrounding homes? The criteria of the official plan are not met in this example. And we have another example at 56 Sanderson, which also had no variances applied to that build, and the same situation exists. May I have my second photo, please? Here we go. This is the photo of 27 Mayvern and the two houses beside it. What is proposed is another 35-foot high house that has 31.7% lot coverage. We will have another third situation in our planned community that does not fit with the criteria of the official plan. What is happening here is that only the zoning bylaw is being applied. This is what happens when a partial incomplete assessment of a proposed build is applied to an application. The result is the destruction of the character and the integrity of the neighborhood. Why can't planning say this doesn't fit the criteria of the official plan and ask that the applicant resubmit something that does fit the character of the plan? I urge this committee to send this request back to staff and that planning staff assess on any proposed application according to the massing criteria of the official plan. The urban design guidelines give clauses that help in that regard and would help to preserve our planned neighborhoods as they should be. Our residents need to be protected and our planned community needs to be protected. Thank you.
Thank you. Just one question, if I may, before I let you go. What was the address of that first picture you showed us?
91 Mayvern.
91. Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Do you have anyone else that wishes to address this application at 27 Mayburn Crescent?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do not.
And do we have any further comments from our planning department?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no further comments.
Gentlemen, do we have any comments, questions, concerns? Mr. Master.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I have some questions to the planning departments. So to Ms. Mauder, if it was a two-story house, what would the setbacks be at this location? Would they still be 8 feet? Apparently, it has been classified as a three-story house due to the basement issues.
Through you, Mr. Chair, it would not be the same setback as currently required for a three-story. However, I do not have the exact requirement with me at this moment.
I see. Typically, we do have 5-foot setbacks for two-story homes. Am I right? In general, in Richmond Hill? I'm still addressing.
Is that a question for planning?
It's for planning, yes.
Yes.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have various different side yard setbacks requirements for two-story versus three-story versus one-story dwellings.
Right. Okay. That's fine. So it is because of the 3 stories that they're looking at the 8 feet setback. I just wanted to establish that. Thank you very much. The only other comment I would like to make, and it was an excellent presentation by Ms. Pat Pollock, and I credit her for flagging the fact that even if you build within the parameters, the house does not appear to fit the fabric, which means that at some point the council and the city must have agreed to make the zoning bylaws different from when the original homes were built, so that now they can have 2-story homes or 30-foot height, which unfortunately allows people to build houses which would look very similar to the one we have under consideration right now in the neighborhood they live in. So the official plan may be changing. I don't know. I'm just making an observation that that was a really interesting comment that she picked a house that complied with all zoning bylaws and it still didn't seem to fit the neighborhood. So I thank her for bringing that up. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Master. One point of clarification. I thought this was a 2-story house. I don't think it's a 3-story house. Can I please get confirmation of that from our planning department? 2 stories plus a basement.
Through you, Mr. Chair, it was determined through the zoning review that it is considered a 3-story dwelling.
I see, but it fits within the height criteria for the area.
That
All
is
right, thank you. Any other comments, gentlemen? Mr. Duretzi.
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Firstly, I would
I
like to
can't hear
thank.
you. Oh, there you go.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I would firstly like to thank the residents for their comments. It's much appreciated. Just some observations. From what I heard from the applicant when she was discussing the existing survey, there is actually a slight increase of the existing side yard setback to the east in the post-development scenario. That's what I observed from the requested variance. Even though they're asking for a reduction in the side yard, it appears to be a slight improvement from what's there already right now. So that's one point I wanted to make because one of the residents did comment on that side yard being closer to their home when in fact in the post-development scenario, the new build will actually be further away, slightly further, not by too much. The other comment I wanted to make, because these infill developments, they can be tricky and impactful to the community when there's construction taking place, etc. I would have actually liked or preferred to see a plan that preserved the existing location of the driveway. I just feel that it's an unnecessary impact to the community when you start relocating the driveway on a new build. It also opens up other issues and conflicts with trees, which, the community has come to love and enjoy over the time that they've lived there. So I don't think there's going to be opportunities to flip this, but for consideration in the future, bringing an infill plan in an established community forward, it's always a good idea to maintain the existing location of an existing driveway. It's just less impactful, in my opinion, to the surrounding area. Other than those comments, I don't have any particular issue with the requested variances.
Thank you. Any other comments, gentlemen? Yes, Mr. Gandhi.
I just wanted to, through you, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to thank the residents as well for coming out and speaking. It's very important that we make sure that the community is involved and it shows the passion that the folks of Richmond Hill have. To Member Master's point, it's interesting to see that there was another home built and conformed to the bylaws and it still seemed to be out of character. These things are going to continue to happen in the neighborhoods that we live in. I do understand the plight of the residents and the concerns of the residents. And I just wanted to thank you all for making sure that you spoke out about the concerns that you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Gentlemen, I would ask for a motion, please. Mr. Master.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I move that application A005/21, located at 27 Mayburn Crescent, be approved with conditions contained therein.
Moved by Member Master, seconded by Member Duretzi. All in favor? I see 5 hands. It's approved. Thank you very much. I would comment, I know it's after the fact and we've already voted, but I would comment that a lot of the concerns that were raised tonight had to deal with massing, not lot coverage. And I know we're certainly, I think we've all just voted and agreed that we're looking at minor variances on the side yard, but I think one of the main issues I heard tonight was massing. And I think it's really up to the neighborhood to get together and bring that issue to our council and see what can be done about it. Anyhow, I'll leave that in your hands. Thank you, folks, very much. Okay, this concludes our applications for this evening. And when we are free to carry on, we will carry on with some other business. Please let me know.